Hello students, welcome to my class, and today we will study the most important branch of chemistry, organic compounds. Out of the entire syllabus of ICSE or CBSE chemistry, organic chemistry is very interesting. The word organic means pertaining to life. So, substances obtained from plants and animals is organic compounds, and the branch dealing becomes organic chemistry, and the substances from minerals or non-living sources is called inorganic compounds. It was believed that some vital force of nature provided us these organic compounds till in 1828, Frederick Huller showed that it is possible to obtain organic compounds in the lab by preparing urea. He showed it. And he was followed by Kolb in 1845, who prepared acetic acid, and Berthelot in 1856, who prepared methane marsh gas, CH4. So, the organic chemistry is the chemistry of organic compounds. So while proving Frederick Huller, who prepared urea, what he actually did was he took NH4CNO and he heated it to give CO, NH2 whole twice, where this is ammonium cyanate. On heating, he prepared urea. So what he actually proved was the inorganic compound. From this, in the lab, he can synthesize one organic compound. So actually, which was earlier believed that there is one vital force through which we can only get it from nature, was now proved wrong. So finally, we got to know that yes, organic compounds can also be prepared in the lab. So the organic compound, actually, it is the study of carbon compounds. But yes, there are again certain exceptions. So we know that it is actually except some of them, and they are oxides of carbon, like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. They have carbon, but they are not organic compounds. Or you can say metallic carbonates like sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate. Carbon is present, but they are not organic. Or metal cyanides, or even metal carbides. These are certain exceptions which we know that they are not organic compounds. Otherwise, if it is an organic compound, carbon is definitely there. Some common sources of organic compounds are from plants. We get sugar, starch, some drugs also. Animals are there, from where we get urea, fats, proteins. Coal, fossil fuel, we get benzene, toluene, dyes. From petroleum, we get gasoline, petrol, fuel gases. They are all organic compounds. Even by fermentation, ethyl alcohol or acetic acid kind of thing can be taken out. And wood is one thing from where we can get methyl alcohol and acetone. There are synthetic ways, of course, where many organic compounds can be synthesized in the lab as well. So there is some common differences between organic and inorganic, which I have noted down for you all, and the comparison I will show you. I had just covered it so that it does not create any confusion while understanding the facts about what is a carbon compound, what is organic compound, where do you get it from, and so on. I guess at least a 2-mark question is there in the question paper from this table, where the question can be asked to compare the organic compound and the inorganic compound with reference to any one of these characteristics. They are very simple. 80% of things are known to you. Some are there which will be maybe little more clear when we do the exercises, but then yes, presence of carbon, as I told you just now. Organic compounds, the necessary element should be carbon. Inorganic, it is not necessary at all. Solubility in water, organic generally do not dissolve, inorganic dissolve in water. And solubility in organic solvents, organic dissolve, inorganic generally do not dissolve. For melting point and boiling point, organic compounds have low melting and boiling point. Inorganic compounds have high melting and boiling point. Combustibility, organic compounds are inflammable. Inorganic do not burn easily. Yes, of course they do, but not easily. These are inflammable. Bonding, the organic compounds are formed by covalent bonds, whereas inorganic compounds are formed by ionic bonds. So they are ionic compounds. Conductivity, organic compounds are non-electrolytes, whereas inorganic compounds are good electrolytes. Isomerism, yes, organic compounds show the phenomenon, inorganic compounds do not show it. Color, organic compounds have. Inorganic also have few of them, but mostly they are colorless. Smell, organic compounds have it. Inorganic compounds, some of them do have, but mostly they are odorless. Reactions, organic compounds are very slow in showing the reactivity, but inorganic compounds are fast in showing the reactivity. I would suggest the proper way of table is there in your text as well. Please, children, follow the table or learn it, by heart it from your text, whatever is feasible. But let me tell you that you are definitely going to get questions from this table. Now we go to the next topic, where again I want to maybe hide a little portion for you for the time being. But before coming to it, let me do one thing about applications. Now, till now I just read out so many sources. So we know that the applications can be soaps, perfume, food, medicines, fuels, dyes, drugs, explosive, insecticides, and so many. Actually, we can say that in every walk of life, we need organic compounds. Now, some unique nature of carbon atom due to which we actually have this big world of organic compound. The first one is tetravalency. So when we say carbon, the atomic number is 6, the mass number is 12. So the electronic configuration is 2, 4. Now when it is 2 and 4, that means the carbon will have 4 electrons in its outermost orbit. Therefore, the carbon is going to have 4 single covalent bond, and this we take as tetravalency. So actually, the carbon atom can neither lose the 4 electrons nor gain the 4 electrons to attain stability. So its 4 bonds are formed by sharing 4 electrons, this characteristics of carbon atom, by virtue of which it forms 4 covalent bonds, is known as tetravalency. The second is catenation. The most important is catenation. It's a very important property. The property of this property is self-linking. This is a very unique property possessed by carbon. Through covalent bonds, in order to form straight chain or branch chain or cyclic or closed chain, the carbon can bond with itself. And in this manner, it can contain many carbon atoms. Many. So, to just show you how this goes on, if we are talking about a straight chain, a carbon can have straight linking with other carbon atom and thus satisfying the tetravalency. It can bond with hydrogen here everywhere. It's a hydrocarbon, so hydrogen and carbon, but it's a straight chain because each carbon is attached to another carbon atom. If we are talking about a branched carbon, so this carbon can have a branch linking also to another carbon and thus satisfying the tetravalency, the 4 bonds. See, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4. For this carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4. For this carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same here. So each covalent can be with hydrogen if we are talking about a hydrocarbon. So these are all hydrogen where it is linking. So a branched chain. We can also talk about a cyclic chain where suppose one carbon is linked with other 2 carbon and they are interlinked. So this carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4. For this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. For this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. So each can bond with hydrogen. But since the carbon atom are joined, interlinked, it becomes a cyclic or a closed chain. There can be other way of linking also. Suppose you have carbon here, okay, carbon here, and carbon here, and they are interlinked. So now count 1, 2, 3, 4. For this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. For this carbon 1, 2, 3 and 4. For this 3 and 4. For 3 and 4. 3 and 4, and each can be hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Everywhere you can put hydrogen. But not necessary. There can be other atom also to which it can link. We will talk about it just now. So the types of organic compound can be hydrocarbon as I showed you just now, or derivatives where it can be alcohol, aldehyde, carboxylic acid, ketone, halide. That also we will decide just now. We will show you just now. But if we are talking about catenation, there can be other forms also showing single bond, double bond, triple bond, and as I said just now, carbon can bond with others also. So if we are talking about single bond, it is carbon-carbon single bond as shown here. This is the simplest one, carbon-carbon single bond. All hydrogen, 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 everywhere hydrogen. If we are talking about a double bond, then it can be, if we are showing with 2 carbon atom, carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, 4 tetravalency, so hydrogen over here. Why 2? Because this carbon will have 1, 2, 3, 4 tetravalency, only 4 bonds are possible. If we are talking about a triple bond, it can be carbon-carbon triple bond with just 1 more extra because tetravalency is satisfied. And as I said, it can also bond with oxygen or nitrogen. Like suppose this carbon, if it has to bond with oxygen, it can. But 1, 2, 3, so it needs 1 more hydrogen. And there are 3 hydrogen here to satisfy the tetravalency. You can also have with nitrogen, so carbon, triple bond, nitrogen, and 1 more bond left out, that can be hydrogen. So it can bond with oxygen and nitrogen also. Now, if we are talking about hydrocarbons, it can be of 3 types. Hydrocarbons, 3 types. They are alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. Now listen to this very carefully because this is important. So we are talking about hydrocarbons, and this is alkane. An alkane is always carbon-carbon single bond. The carbon can bond to anything else, but there is a single bond here. So this is an alkane with single bond, carbon-carbon single bond. If it's an alkene, it will be carbon-carbon double bond. So this is a double bond. If it is alkyne, it will be carbon-carbon triple bond. So it is alkyne. So you know that if it is ANE, alkane, it's single bond. If it is ENE, alkene, it is double bond. If it is YNE, alkyne, it is triple bond. If we go to show you the examples, then I can just show you about the say ethane. Okay, I have taken 3 from alkane. I have taken ethane. From alkene, I have taken ethene. For alkyne, I have taken ethyne. So the structure of one ethane is carbon-carbon single bond, tetravalency satisfied with having all bonded with hydrogen, hydrocarbon. So this becomes C2H3, and the bonding is between CH3 single bond CH3. If we are talking about ethene, then it is carbon-carbon double bond, tetravalency, hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. The formula is C2H4 and the bond is H2C double bond CH2. If we are talking about ethyne, it can be carbon-carbon triple bond and hydrogen. The formula is C2H2. It is HC triple bond CH. So we know that if it is ethane, it is C2H6. If it is ethane, it is C2H6. If it is ethene, it is C2H4. If it is ethyne, it is C2H2. How do you differentiate? Carbon, carbon, 2 carbon atoms, single bond, ethane, 2 carbon atoms, double bond, ethene, 2 carbon atoms, triple bond, ethyne. So this is about the basic hydrocarbon, alkane, alkene and alkyne. If we are talking about some of the derivatives which I was just talking to you, we can say that we have alcohol. Now alcohol is always one OH group. Suppose the simplest one, we get CH3OH and the name is methanol. Methanol, all. Why? Because alcohol is there. How is the bonding done? It is carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. So CH3OH. The second kind is aldehyde, and this is CHO group. And the simplest can be CH3CHO, and the name is ethanol. Ethanol. Because there are 2 carbon atoms, so aldehyde, so al, and the bond is carbon-carbon single bond, double bond O, single bond hydrogen and tetravalency, the 3. So CH3CHO, ethanol, aldehyde, so alcohol, so all. Next we come to ketone. Now ketone group will be C double bond O. This is a keto group. And this is CH3CO CH3. So propanone. Prop means 3 carbon, on because it is ketone. Propanone. And the bonding will be carbon, carbon, carbon. This is a ketone group. Rest are all hydrogen, hydrogen everywhere. Tetravalency satisfied. Next comes carboxylic acid. This is a COOH group. And if we are talking about CH3COOH, then the name is ethanoic acid. Why? Because carboxylic acid, oic acid. And the bond would be C double bond O, OH, tetravalency complete, and rest tetravalency with hydrogen. Ether, this is carbon, single bond O, single bond carbon. This is the ether group. COC group, we say it as COC group. And if I write H3COCH3, then the name is dimethyl ether. How? Dimethyl. There are 2 methyl groups. If one hydrogen is removed, it becomes alkyl group. So dimethyl ether is the bonding as well as the name. They can be halide, which is the X, and X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So if you can write CH3, CH2, Cl. So this is chloroethane. Why? Carbon-carbon single bond, chloroethane. Rest are satisfied by tetravalency bonded with hydrogen. CH3, CH2, Cl, chloroethane. So this was all about the functional group. Now, in a saturated hydrocarbon, now I will just go back to the previous slide so that the explanation becomes easy for you, just to show saturated. When I say saturated hydrocarbon, the carbon atoms, all 4 valencies are satisfied by forming single covalent bonds. But if it is unsaturated, that is not fully satisfied, as they have a double bond or a triple bond. Saturated hydrocarbons are less reactive due to more availability of electrons, and they undergo substitution reaction. Like one hydrogen can be removed, and one Cl can be put here. Here, hydrogen can be removed, substitution reaction. But for unsaturated ones, they are more reactive due to the presence of electrons in the double and the triple bond, and they undergo addition reaction also. But saturated ones don't go for addition reaction. So now I will go back to my slide which I was teaching. Here you will know the classification, which I have written it down for you. It will be simple and easy for you to understand. Classification of hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons can be 2, open chain, closed chain. Open chain, I showed you single bond, double bond, triple bond. Closed chain or cyclic chain also I showed you. Open chains are also known as aliphatic. Okay. Open chains can be saturated and unsaturated. Saturateds are alkanes, single bond. They are known as paraffins, and their formula is CnH2n plus 2. Whereas unsaturated ones can be alkenes and alkynes. Alkenes are known as olefins, and the formula is CnH2n, whereas alkynes formula is CnH2n minus 2. I will also tell you about the alkyl group which is obtained. I was telling you just now when I was explaining that dimethyl ether one, that when one hydrogen is removed from alkane, like CnH2n plus 2, one hydrogen is removed, it becomes alkyl with the formula CnH2n plus 1. So if it is one hydrogen removed from methane, it becomes methyl. One hydrogen removed from ethane, it becomes ethyl. Similarly, propyl, butyl, and so on. So we now know that the functional group is an atom or group of atom joined in a specific manner and give the characteristic chemical property to the organic compound, as we have done alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, and the names also for alcohols: all, for aldehyde, al, for ketone, on, for carboxylic acid, oic acid, and so on. Similarly, we also have homologous series. So when we say homologous series, we know that one homologous series is, we have just now done also, but before going to this particular slide, let me just talk to you about homologous series. So this will confuse you. Let me just cover it up. It's a organic compound with similar structure, type of structure, same chemical properties, but they differ by a CH2 group. One CH2 difference will be there when it's a homologous series. So then I can show you that, but before that let me just tell you about some of the organic compounds which I have drawn and noted it down for you, like cyclopropane. How? There are 3 carbons, so prop. They are interlinked, so cyclo. All have got single bonds, so ane, cyclopropane. Cyclopentane, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so pent. Interlinked, so cyclo. All single bonds, so ane. Cyclohexene, how? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hex. Interlinked, so cyclo. One double bond is there, that means it is ene, cyclohexene. It can be represented by this sign also, which in your senior classes you are going to use it more, but now for standard 10, yes, of course you have to write this structure. Benzene, alternate single and double bonds, that is cyclo, but the carbon atoms are 6. There is alternate double and single bond. Can be represented by this. Toluene, phenol, naphthalene. For a toluene, you have got a CH3 group. For a phenol, you have got OH group. For a naphthalene, there are 2 benzenes which are attached. So these are some of the compound structure which you should all know about it. Now we come to homologous series, which I was discussing with you just now, and I was telling how they will differ by a CH2 group. So first let's talk about alkane with the formula CnH2n plus 2, 1 carbon methane, 2 carbon ethane, 3 carbon propane, 4 carbon butane, 5 carbon pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, and decane, like that it goes. So you can talk about alkane and the homologous series. They will differ by a CH2 group. See, CH4, C2H6, C3H8. So CH2, CH2 difference is there. If it's an alkene, CnH2n, it is ethene, propene, butene, pentene, hexene, heptene, octene, nonene, and decane. Here we start with ethene, because you cannot have a methane. One carbon atom cannot have a double bond with hydrogen. It will definitely need at least 2 carbon. So the first member of alkane is methane, and the first member of alkene is ethene. Similarly, alkyne is ethyne, propyne, butane, pentine, hexyne, heptine, octine, nonine, and decane. Alkyl group: methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, depends upon how many carbon atoms are there. Then we talk about alcohol. Methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. Can be pentanol, hexanol, heptanol. Also, depending upon the number of carbon atoms. 1 carbon meth, 2 carbon eth, 3 carbon prop, 4 carbon but, 5 carbon pent, 6 carbon hex. Now the last part is alcohol. So all, methanol, ethanol, propanol. Aldehyde, methanal, formaldehyde, 1 carbon atom. Ethanal, acetaldehyde. For carboxylic acid, acetic acid, ethanoic acid, 2 carbon atoms. For a halide, methyl chloride. We saw ethyl chloride just now. This is methyl chloride, 1 carbon atom. Acetone or a propanone for a ketone group. Dimethyl ether for a ether group. Chloroethane because there are 2 carbon atoms and 1 chloride group. So this is about some of the compounds of homologous series. Now we come to the very important part, and that is nomenclature. Actually, when we know how to name the compounds, we can have even the complicated ones as well. So one IUPAC name is very important for an organic compound which is assigned, and the root names has to be seen that I just taught you: meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, depending upon how many carbon atoms are there. Then we talk about the suffix, that is whether it's single bond, ane, double bond, ene, triple bond, ine, alcohol, all, aldehyde, oic acid, which we were talking about just now. Before that, there has to be a prefix also in case we have an alkyl group attached or any functional group attached, then we have to write that. Actually, to write the IUPAC name or to write the nomenclature, we should first have the longest carbon chain, which has to be continuous and may not be straight. It can be branched also, but it has to be a continuous chain. Then the numbering should be done in such a way that the alkyl group or the functional group, where functional group is always preferred, should get the smallest number. And the writing, while we write the name, it should go alphabetical. And for more than one functional group, di, tri and tetra will go as the rule says. And I have noted down some of the compounds and I will show you how to name them. So let me do one thing, that I cover some of them so that it will not confuse you. So let's explain one by one. Suppose this is the structure. I have numbered it as 1, 2 and 3. If you number from here 1, 2 and 3, even then the methyl group is attached to the second carbon atom. So it doesn't make a difference. So now numbering 2 methyl, because methyl group is attached to the second carbon atom. 2 methyl, there are 3, so prop, all single bonds, so ane. As I told you just now, that the root name should be how many carbon atoms. The suffix should be whether it is a single bond or any functional group. And the prefix will talk about the alkyl group and the number. So 2 methyl propane. Here I have numbered from this side 1, 2, 3, 4. If you number from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, even then it is that same case. The 2 carbon atom gets the number 2 and 3 and both are methyl groups. So the prefix 2, 3, 2 methyl groups. So dimethyl, butane. Why? But, 4 carbon atom, all single bonds. So ane, butane, and the numbers 2, 3, dimethyl. Here, there are 2 carbon atoms. So the root name is eth. All single bonds. So the suffix is ane. But there are 4 chlorine attached to the 2. So it is 1, 1, 2, 2 tetrachloro, 4 chlorine. So the numbers are 1, 1, 2, 2 tetrachloroethane. The next slot. if the compounds are this, root 1, 2, 3, 4, bute, triple bond, suffix ine, but where? Number. It is attached to the second carbon. So bute 2-ine, you can even write 2-butene. The name is butene, but the triple bond is with the second carbon atom, so you have to give the number as the prefix. Here, straight chain cannot be numbered from this side, because in that case your methyl group will get number 4. As I told you, you have to number in such a way that the alkyl group or the functional group gets the smallest number. So the number is done from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the root is hex, all single bonds, so ane. Now the prefix 3-methyl to the third carbon atom, the methyl is attached, so 3-methyl hexane. Here, since the functional group gets the preference, so OH gets number 1, 1, 2, 3, so the root is prop. 2-methyl propane 1-ol, or you can write 1-propanol, because the alcohol is with the first carbon atom, so you have to write the number. So first the prefix, that is 2-methyl, then the root propane, E is not there, 1-ol. You can also write 2-methyl 1-propanol, alcohol, so all. Then some other I have written down for you. I hope the video is helping you understand the nomenclature, because that is very important. You are definitely going to get questions from there. And children, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Put your doubts in the comment section. Solve all the structures that are given in your text. Watch the video. This video is going to help you clear all your doubts, and all the basics will be clear. I can make it sure. Okay, so this one. Now here, double bond is with the second carbon atom, and methyl is with the third carbon atom. If you number from here, your methyl will be third, but the double bond comes to the third carbon atom. So the numbering is preferentially done from here. So it is 3-methyl pent 2-ene or 2-pentene. So prefix about the alkyl group 3-methyl. Then the root word pent, because 5 carbon atom. 1 double bond, so ene, but where? It is 2. So 3-methyl 2-pentene or 3-methyl pent 2-ene, both are correct. Again, alcohol gets number 1, preferentially 1, 2, 3, 4. So bute. So alphabetically it is a 2-chloro and a 2-methyl, but alphabetically, so 2-chloro, 2-methyl. If you write 2-methyl, 2-chloro, it is wrong. Please don't make a mistake. Alphabetical. 2-chloro, 2-methyl, butane 1-ol or 1-butanol, as I showed you here, everywhere. It can be butane, E is not there, don't put an E. TAN-1-ol or -1-butanol. 2-chloro 2-methyl butane 1-ol or 2-chloro 2-methyl 1-butanol, both are correct. Here comes ketone group. So smallest number 2 and root is 5. There is 1 chloro, so 5-chloro pentane 2-one or 2-pentanone, both are correct. 5-chloro pentane 2-one ketone group or 5-chloro 2-pentanone, both are correct. Numbering, please check. Here again alcohol will get number 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there are 2 places where methyl group is there and 1 place where 1 ethyl group is there. So alphabetically now, so 2-ethyl, 4,4-dimethyl, pentane 1-ol or 2-ethyl, 4,4-dimethyl, 1-pentanol. Why? Pent 5 carbon, ol. We go to the next type. Again, let me cover this part because it will not confuse you. So, triple bond gets the preference 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3-methyl butane but 1-ine or 1-butyne. We have done a similar question just now in the previous slide. This one, straight chain, longest chain may not be straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3-methyl heptane, all single bonds, heptane. Aldehyde gets 1. So 5,5-dimethyl hexanal. Aldehyde will always be 1. So you may not write 1-hexanal. It can be hexanal. Aldehyde. So Al. Then it is alcohol. So 2-pentanol because 5 carbons are there, or pentane. E is not there. 2 all. Both are correct. Oic acid again gets number 1. So 4-methyl pentanoic acid. We may not write 5-pentanoic acid because oic acid will always take number 1. Then here again alphabetical, 1-bromo, 3-methyl butane because 4 carbon are there and single bond, so A. Some more structures I have written. If you are given to draw the structure when the name is written, that is 3-hexene. So you have to first see the root, that is hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atom. Suffix is -ene, prefix is 3. So the third carbon atom will have a double bond, and now tetravalence is satisfied by counting and putting the bonds and all hydrogen. So you can write this or you can write this also. 2-methyl prop 1-ene. Prop means 3 carbon atom, 1 with the first carbon atom double bond, 2-methyl second carbon atom methyl group, tetravalence is satisfied, the structure ready. If it is 2,3-dimethyl butane, but, so 4 carbon atom, all single bond because it is N, ANE, and second and third carbon atom 2 methyl groups, tetravalency is satisfied. So that's how we do about the nomenclature. This will be, IUPAC names will be perfect only if you practice with more and more structures, and I'm telling you children, it's going to be very easy for you. It is not at all difficult, and as I always tell you, I'm sticking to the syllabus of ICSE and CBSE chemistry. Therefore, please watch my video, solve all the questions, structures that are given in your textbook. I'm sure you will understand, learn the definitions, and children, please like, share and subscribe my channel, and take care. Bye children.